Hello. So now I'm looking at our application in production on Heroku. And here I have our shopping cart. Let's say I will add a few items. So this item and this item. And I press the Buy Now button. We are redirected to the Stripe checkout, where we will have two items and the total price. So we're going to pay for both of them at the same time. I input a Stripe test code and some kind of information and process the payment. And I expect to have two products sold, and for the webhooks to increase the sales count by 1 for each product. Now you see we were redirected to the success URL with the session ID, and here we have the information about the successful payment, and on top we still have our shopping cart. So the shopping cart was not emptied. I can refresh once again, and you see the shopping cart was not emptied. And if we go to our products, we see that the sales count has increased. Before it was 3 and 9, now it is 4 and 10. So we're going to work on improving the workflows now. First of all, we're going to make it so that the shopping cart is emptied after a successful transaction with Stripe. And we're also going to display the products that we bought in this success action right here. So let's do it. I'm going back to our development environment. And first of all, we're going to clean up our cart after a successful transaction. Now let's have a look. So we have our transactions in our checkouts controller. And here, if the transaction was successful, we are redirected to the success URL. So let's say that we will delete the cart or empty the cart when we are redirected to the success URL. Now there are a few ways to do it. First of all, we can just go to our application controller, and here you see we set the cart, and we can set it to an empty array. And we would just say equals empty array. And let's see if it works. So I will just go to a success URL, and I will refresh, and you see the shopping cart was emptied. So when we redirect to the success URL, after redirecting, our cart is emptied. Again, I can add a few products to the cart. I will go to the success URL. I will refresh, and the cart is emptied. But now you see, I'm just redirected into a success URL where I already have a session ID saved in my local computer cookies. I'm not sure what session this is in particular. If I just try to go to success, I get this error. Could not determine which URL because we don't have the param session ID set. So generally, we shouldn't be able to navigate to the success URL unless we have the ID of a successful transaction. So let's also update this in our success page. We will say that we will be able to access the success page only if the param session ID is present. So let's say if param session ID.present, then we will have all this logic. Otherwise, we will redirect to the cancel URL. And we will say alert, not permitted or not authorized or something. No info to display. And end statement. Now let's see if this works. I go to the success URL, and I get this message, no info to display. I go to success URL with a session ID, and I have the success information displayed. So looks better. And now also you see we have this session with expand line items in our action. We can see if we are using it in our view. Let's go to our views, checkout, success, and in the view we are not using this these line items at all. So we can also use them in our views. Let's say we will display all the line items that we bought in the session, like all the products. So I will just say session will expand, get all the line items. We get the product, and we say we will display the product dot name equals product dot name. and end statement. Let's see if this works. I refresh. And here we have the names of the products that we bought in this specific transaction with Stripe. Okay, let's just add some breaks. And looks good. Now let's see if it works correctly. So I will select two products. I will select this product and this product, S7 and MacBook Pro, and buy now. Redirecting to the Stripe checkout. Now you should have noticed that I did not set up webhooks to work in my development environment, but you can easily do it. I set up webhooks only for my Heroku production environment, so all the webhooks that would be delivered to the test environment are resulting in a failure. Okay, so I have success. I see the two products that I just bought, and if I navigate to any other page, you see the shopping cart has been emptied. So this has really improved our workflow of what happens when we have a successful transaction. And also, for your consideration, there is one more way to clear our cart. We can just say session delete cart. So it will perform a very similar action to what we are doing here. We are just emptying the cart and leaving an empty array, or we could just delete the cart and a new cart would be automatically created by our application controller. Okay, so let's save the changes that we just did. Git status, git add all, git commit main, empty cart after successful transaction. Okay, looks good. And now let's check for some more bugs in our application. Let's say I go to our products and I change the price of the MacBook Pro. So now it is $2,000 and we change the price to $2,100. Okay, we will go back and I will try to add this product to the cart and buy now. And you see, in our local database, we have updated the price, but it was not updated on the Stripe side. So on the Stripe side, it is still $2,000. So we are now going to make it so that when we update the price in our local database, it will also be updated on the Stripe side. And how are we going to do it? Well, previously in our product.rb, we said after create a Stripe price. And now we are going to say that after save or after update, most likely it will be better after update, they're going to update the Stripe price with the local database price. So let's say after update do, and we're going to update the Stripe price with the local database information. Now, this is the example flow of the Stripe update API action. So now we're going to update not the Stripe customer, but the Stripe price. Okay, so we're going to find the Stripe price and update it. Now we need to have the price ID, and we're going to have a list of fields that we are going to update. So we say Stripe price update, and the ID is going to be the Stripe price ID. So we will say something like ID equals Stripe price ID. Now we need to close the braces. Okay, and we will pass a list of fields. So first we're just finding the ID, and next we're going to say that what can be updated, the name. Yeah, the name. No, we cannot update the name. We can just update the unit amount or the currency. For now, we're just going to update the unit amount. So unit amount self.price. And let's see if it works. So what we are doing here, we are finding the Stripe price by the ID that, so we're finding the Stripe price related to this local product and updating the unit amount, so the price. Let's see if it works. I will go to our products. I will change the price to $2,200. And we get some kind of error. Okay, let's see. Now, what can this problem be? Let's go back and see. So, invalid URI error, whatever. Okay, let's just try changing the price in our console. So here I have this product, MacBook Pro. Here I have one price. I will go and press edit price. And you see, I cannot edit this price. So I cannot edit this price. I cannot edit an existing price. In this case, I can only create a new price. So now we are going to make it so that if the price has changed in our local database, we are going to create a new Stripe price for this product and associate the price with the local product. So let's do it. We're going to, first of all, do these manipulations only if the price has changed in our local database. So let's go to our products. And here we have this MacBook Pro. I'm going to edit the price. And we're going to do some manipulations only if the price has changed. So let's say after update, and we will say create, assign, create, and assign new Stripe price. And we will do it only if, and we will do it if saved changes to price attribute. So this callback will run only if we have saved our changes to the price attribute. Now we will create this block. We will say def create and assign new Stripe price, do, and here we are going to create a new Stripe price. So we will say, we'll just copy it from here. Price equals Stripe price create. Product will be the product of this local product. We'll say self dot Stripe product ID. So we're going to set the product as the product from the local product, the Stripe product ID from the local Stripe product ID, and the unit amount is going to be the one from the updated price, and the currency is going to be USD. Okay, and we're going to update the local attribute of Stripe price ID with this price ID. So something like this. Now def, okay, like this. We don't need this do. And let's see if this works. So I will set the price to 2400, and I get undefined method saved changes to price. It should maybe be saved change to price. Okay, let's try once again. Will it work? And possibly it worked. Okay, we updated the local price. Now let's go to Stripe and see if we created a new price. I'm refreshing. And you see we created a new price with this slightly different ID. So let's have a look if the ID of the price fits the price here. Yeah, you see. And now if we add this product to the cart and go to buy now, we will already be buying the product with the new price. So this is how we can update the Stripe price when updating an attribute in our local products table. So looks good. Now let's save our changes, git status. What have we done? We have only done some changes in product.rb. So we said that if the price attribute was changed, then we are going to create a new Stripe price with a new price, and assign it to the current local product. So git add all, git commit main, update, create new stripe price, and assign to product. In what case, if product price is updated. Okay, so looks good.